Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Stratego video. It's going to be another rank game and analysis, this one against Picton. I used the this setup. It's because I've been having some problems with my flag getting loaded because my opponents get down and then they get desperate, and then I think I go a bit too offensive, and then I don't protect my flag enough from lottos, and then they take it. So now I'm trying with a close flag. So I think it'll make it much easier for me to win. But yeah, let's just see how this game goes. Oh yeah, I also moved some of my bombs, so that this bomb was really obvious. It was I used to have a bomb here. It was getting like people weren't hitting it. I also had a bomb here and here. Sorry, I had a bomb here, which was obvious. And then I had a bomb here and here. Yeah, I don't even know, but yeah, the bombs was really obvious, so I moved them a little bit. So now here, which is less obvious of a bomb, then here also because like this formation is not as obvious, and then this spot gets loaded very often because people are like, oh, maybe there's a bomb in the flag here. Here he's just responding to my good luck, but I forgot to respond to him that entire game, so don't mind that. So yeah, right off the bat, we can see that he's probably a blitzer on the right side because we have this piece here and this piece here, which look like look to be yeah, and also using like a bunch of scouts. So it looks like he's blitzing down here and on this side. Oh, yeah, and also at the end of the video, I will be showing his setup. I mean, if I remember that, I assume I will though. So he's missing in the center, which makes me think he may not be a blitzer. He might just be like somewhat of an aggressive player, or maybe he's blitzing the right, but just wants some gen spy colonel in the center. Who knows? This skewering over here, I don't really care because I have pretty good defense over here. So he takes that. So we'll just take that captain with the major. Now he's probably gonna hit this with the colonel. This is one of the problems with that setup. I might want to switch the general to the spy. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. Discuss the captain, so now he can safely take both of these pretty much. He can definitely safely take this, and he probably knows that. And then he might also be able to take this if he's risky enough, because this could totally be a good piece. So here I'm just getting a buffer next to my marshal. If a piece comes down next to it that you don't know, then you don't want to take a chance of like hitting it with your marshal, maybe like revealing it for a scout or a sergeant, or like hitting it with your captain. Then it's like the major colonel general that you should have hit with your marshal. So I always like to have a buffer next to my high pieces, so then I know if I have to reveal them or not. So here he was down here, which was not a great bluff on his part because earlier I took a sergeant with this captain and he didn't take it with that. So I don't know what his plan was with that. He should have realized that. So now he's coming out with this piece, and I think that this is not a bluff. I think he's probably like testing the waters or something with the scout, even though that was obvious because I moved next to it before and it didn't hit me. So kind of an obvious bluff. So now he's moving out two pieces, then I might as well. I'm okay with sacking a captain to get info of both of these because I'm up a captain. These both came from behind the leg, so they could totally both be good pieces. So we had a colonel there, so I don't really care about losing the captain. Now we also gonna get a captain. That was pretty unfortunate because I could have just traded, but instead I lost a captain for no reason. But I mean, what can you do? I thought that this was like a major, so I'd rather relay it for this piece. But oh well, it doesn't really matter that much. So it looks like he's retreating with both the captain and the colonel. I wanted to come up with a colonel and maybe take the captain, but that does not look like it's going to happen. So I make sure that this piece can't scout anything if it is a scout, but I think it's the bombs. That's why I come up with this miner. He's doing some advancing in the center. I don't really care though. So I go here, and here I doubt he'll hit me because A, he has no reason to because this captain's being guarded by the colonel and maybe the marshal. Maybe this might be the marshal. I mean, it would make sense. Maybe this is, but the captain's probably sufficiently guarded, so he's no reason to hit me here. So he just lets me go up and defuse that bomb. It was a really obvious bomb, so I just wanted to get it out of the way. Now here, even though he's chasing me with the sergeant, I think it's not the worst thing in the world because now I know that this piece isn't a scout and he can't so now I'm safe leaving my marshal somewhat scoutable because I know that this isn't a scout and this isn't a scout. So now I want to come up with the captain and get this sergeant. And the process behind that is because he wouldn't have a major here because that just wouldn't make any sense. So he might have to like a real like a general marshal, and also he wouldn't have like two colonels here over here. So this piece coming in between my pieces. I don't know what to think of it, but I have no reason to hit it right for now. So here he gives me a free sergeant, and I don't know why he would do that because this captain is probably sufficiently guarded, so he had no reason to. But I mean, free sergeant for me, so now I'm up a sergeant, and I'm down a minor, up a sergeant, I'm up a scout. Well, now I'm two scouts, and I am no colonel here. He does know a major in this captain, so we're relatively even on info. So I get him to push the scout on the sergeant because I came here, so it could be a good piece, but probably not in lower level play. So we waste the scout on it, which is really good because now my opponent only has two scouts left, and then I'll start coming out with miners, and I can just come out with bluffs and bleed his pieces. So here I think that is Marshall's side. This is a strong side because people typically open up on their strong side, rather than their weak sides. Then they can like get a lot of pieces. That's just most of the time they do that. So I go down here, continue to go down because I don't want to make my marshal too obvious. Um, and also I'm okay with doing this because I know that he had to bring a scout out from here to here to scout my sergeant. And why would he do that if this was a scout? Because he could have scouted it more easily from this piece. Maybe he didn't want to reveal back row piece, but then he also makes this piece suspect as like a bomb or a spy or something. So he probably would have scouted it with this piece if it was a scout because he moved back row piece here. He may not be afraid to move back row pieces, but he didn't. So then now I know that this isn't a scout, so I'm able to do this without having to worry about my marshal getting scouted. So this isn't great here. I see why he did it though. Like this move, it makes sense. This makes sense why he took this with his colonel. I probably would have done the same thing because the chances of these being a little higher than a colonel are pretty slim. So yeah, I see his logic behind that. It's down to captain, which isn't good, and I might also lose this major if he's risky enough, which would be very bad. Okay, so now it's looking really bad because because I'm down a major, down a captain, and he might lot on my spy. Now that actually would be good because I could get the colonel with my gen, but it's not looking good right now. I'm down a lot of material, and yeah. So this colonel got a captain and a major, so I do know both colonels, which is the plus. Here and here, but I'm down a major and a captain, which is my opinion that's more than I would give for info of two colonels, but maybe other players think differently about that, but that's just my personal opinion. So we're retreating with this colonel here, which is interesting. He comes out with this piece, so I just avoid it. Not sure what the point of that was, and I want to discover what this is. So I do, and it's a minor. So that's pretty funny. I thought this was a good piece because A, this is typically a good piece, and B, it was guarding the M colonel for some time. So now I'm thinking that this might be a good piece because he was like making this piece and this piece I mean this piece and this minor as like a buffer for this piece. So that might be something good. And also yeah, so he hits it with the colonel here. That was the right play to do because that colonel was already known. So basically, so that was negative. I got a minor. I lost a sergeant, but I did get a little bit more like quote unquote info because of what pieces he brought over to defend that side. So he's really consolidating his pieces in the center, which is pretty interesting to me. So now I'm thinking his flag like might be one of these two squares because he's really like, probably one of these two because he's really trying to defend it. Just remember this sergeant is known. You might not remember it, but it's known. So yeah, that was indeed a buffer piece. It hit my colonel. So now I'm just bringing the sergeant up because I doubt he remembers it because I tucked it back in here. And I want to see if I can get some info with it, even though it is known. But again, I doubt he remembers it. Like I would remember it because, well, quote unquote remember because I have a Stratego, like a Stratego board set. Yeah, Stratego board thing. So he attacks my Louis with a miner thinking it's a bomb, which makes sense because it hasn't moved the entire game. So now he's probably gonna attack it, and I know that I can't really do much about it, so I just leave it be. Now this is bad because I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. So now I'm down a major, a captain, and a lieutenant, and the info that I got is not worth that because I don't know the marshal or the general. So yeah, that's bad. So here in this situation, I decided not to take the major because I think that this could be the marshal because A, it's guarding a colonel and a major. B, he was okay with taking this, but it might have just been because he was up a major, but I think it's because this is being guarded by this piece which could be the marshal. Also, he started killing aggressive on the side, which makes me think he might have been some sort of blitzer. So this could definitely be the marshal. So that's why I don't hit it with my gen. And now he might not think this is a good piece. So if he moves this back enough, then I can scout this and see if it's the marshal. So we find a sergeant here, so that's good. We cleared this column, so now we won't have to worry about scouts here. Scouting the marshal. So now he moved right here, which in my opinion was a pretty big blunder because now I can scout the marshal, and even though this might be like a low chance to be a scout or something, um, you should never leave your marshal unscoutable. So yeah, we move the scout up and he takes it with the marshal. I don't know why he took it because this totally could have been the spy, but eh, this guy is a little bit of a risky player, I think. And this is a totally common spy spot, by the way. It's generally like over here, but this is totally common. So now I'm hoping that he might like move his marshal away, that I can maybe like fork these two pieces or something of the sort, this major and this colonel. Okay, so looks like he's gonna. So this is bad. He's probably gonna scout my gen. If he scouts my spy, that's just gonna be tragic. Um, but thankfully he doesn't scout my spy. He scouts the gen, which it's bad, but it's not as bad as him scouting my spy. So here I really want to bluff this spy is a good piece, but I know that I can't because he took a major here and I didn't take him with the spy. So he scouts my general, which is unfortunate, but whatever. Yeah, so I debate doing that, but then I remember that um, he moved it his colonel next to it and it didn't hit him, so why would it be a good piece? So you find a miner there, that's not great. So now what I'm trying to do is if he sacks his marshal and gets my gen and gets hit by the spy, then he's definitely winning this game. So I need to avoid that and get my gen up the center to maybe get something before I lose it. So now I'm gonna bring my marshal up to the left and I'm gonna see if I can like kind of attack his army from two fronts and see what he does about it. So we get a lieutenant there. That was kind of lucky. I mean, I wouldn't say lucky, but it was kind of unfortunate, I'd say. Okay, here, so I move in here because I don't think that this piece would be the spy. Sorry, I don't think the piece is behind it. In fact, this was a known kernel. My bad. I don't think that these would be the spy. Um, I have a program that shows me so once I mark the general like where it is, it'll show me where it came from, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. But yeah, it'll show me where it came from, so I knew that these two the chances of them being the spy were pretty low, considering where the gen came from. So he might get my spy here with his kernel, which would not be the best. They do like a lot of that spot, so I would not be completely surprised if he did that. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but would not be great. So looks like he did a lot of my spy. So I'm gonna trade here because he might realize that he's down a kernel, even though he's still winning in my opinion. Well, I think it's about even actually, because kernel for major, and then I do have a couple lower pieces on him. So he does have that captain on me. So I trade before he can like do any more damage with these two pieces because he seems to be quite a risky player. And now his marshal's coming in. So I did this, and I confirm yes, indeed, that is the general. So I do this because I know that my captain is probably gonna get taken by something here, so I might as well just attack up, see what happens, and we exchange captain. So that was good. In retrospect, I should have hit this with my marshal before that, because this obviously wasn't the spy. Sorry, not this piece, but that captain that was there that I traded with. It obviously wasn't the spy because he wouldn't just put it out in the open like that. So I should have hit this piece beforehand. That was just a little error on my end that cost me a free piece. But oh well. So I obviously don't want to lose my gen to his marshal. So he's gonna let me trade here. I'd rather let him do the trading because I don't want to waste move trading. But now I know that I can come up with this kernel, and if these three have moved, this has moved. I'm just gonna start hitting pieces with my kernel because if you notice, his gen's here, his marshal's here. He can't get back in time because yeah, he just doesn't have enough moves to get back. Okay, so this is the part where I think I do a really good move without even knowing it. So this is his marshal, right? And I just came in with this piece. It's obviously a minor. And it's probably gonna check by major, maybe thinking it's a bomb. So I take it with my lieutenant, and that's because I don't. So my thought process was, oh, if he takes, I mean, if he finds the major, then he knows that my marshal's over here, and he's just gonna hit the major with his marshal because I don't have a spy. So that's why I hit that my lieutenant. But I think he interpreted it as, oh, this is a bomb, and this is part of my triangle flag, and I don't want you opening this triangle flag. So it's like, wait, if this is a bomb, then this is not a bomb. So then he'll see. Yeah, so then he lottos into the bomb. This guy was a very risky player, so I can see why he did it. But I think, in my opinion, even if he didn't lotto into that bomb, I think I would have won either way because my colonel was getting a lot of pieces here. I could have exchanged gens, and I would have been colonel for a major, and then I would have been up lieutenant. I mean, up a sergeant down a lieutenant, and I would have had. I think I would have been able to beat this guy because I was up a colonel on him. But he does that, so it's not. So yeah, he's gonna surrender shortly. So we get the spy there. That was funny. Actually, I kind of thought that this was the spy based on how it was necessarily imaging a lot of pieces. Notice here how he opts to say this piece instead of this piece. So I did this just in case it's like a minor going for the flag. He changes gens finally. I don't know why, because now that he's down, he shouldn't have exchanged. But I take this because it was one of those pieces that is moved in the center. We get a lieutenant, so now I'm not down a lieutenant anymore. So now I know that this is probably a major because A, he doesn't have any captains left, and B, he saved it over a lieutenant. So I don't know what he's doing over here, and well, not now I do, but yeah, these bombs have helped me quite a bit since I changed the positions of the bombs a little bit because now he's blowing himself up on a lot of bombs. So I finally see the chat and I noticed that, and now he surrenders. So I think I played that pretty well. Maybe even though it wasn't intentional, but yeah, I think I played that pretty well. So now we're a silver sergeant on this account. Of course, this is because I was playing on a different device than I normally do, and I'm too lazy to log in to my main account, which is a silver captain. So yeah, now let's look at this guy's setup. All right, so this guy's setup, Picton's setup that I found. Well, I didn't I found, but the program that I have helped me make. So as you can see, he didn't move like any pieces in this center area. So purple, I mean pink or purple, whatever you want to call it, it means that the pieces is taken off the board. These pieces like this, it means that they're known, but they yeah, that they're known, but they're still on the board. This red underline means that they've moved, and then of course nothing means that they have not moved. So yeah, let's get into this analysis. So right off the bat, you can see that this guy had quite a strong side, to say the least. He had Marshal General Spy over here. This is not something I would recommend doing, especially because he didn't really use General like on this side much. I think it would have been better to have like general maybe here and then a colonel here and then spy here, so something of that sort. Because this makes this side extremely weak, and if you were to do this, you should probably put this colonel on this side and have more bombs over here like a minefield. So yeah, he had kind of a strong side, but it wasn't like yeah his this colonel is extremely vulnerable. Also, he had some pieces that I don't think were in the best spots. Like, he had double captain here. He had double sergeant here. Generally, it's not a good thing to have like double pieces. It's okay sometimes, but in general, it's not very good. This bomb here, it's in a pretty good spot, I will say. It doesn't really reject mobility that much. I mean, this was only the bomb in the first two rows, which is pretty interesting considering that this was a strong side. So yeah, if I were him again, I would have had this colonel on this side, like probably maybe here, so something like that. But I would have blitzed like really hard down this side, and then I would have had all my bombs on this half of the board, open flag maybe somewhere. Just a lot of bombs here, to make sure that the opponent could not like do much over here. But yeah, the setup it's not that bad, but I think moving the general spy would be very beneficial. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.